In. All right. Good to see everybody this morning. I invite you to stand up and do a little stretching so we can kind of shake off our weeks and shake off our whatever it took to get here this morning. Let's just start with our necks, roll it around, get our shoulders going a little bit too with it. Just kind of. And as we're doing this movement, just feel the release of any thoughts that we might have that are carried on from the week, any worries about the future. Just kind of release it out of our bodies. Stretch your arms. Do some big circles with your hips if you feel like it. Touch your toes, whatever feels good. And then take some deep breaths. Let's just center ourselves here in the moment. Make yourselves comfortable. I'm going to invite you to take some nice breaths in, deep breaths. And release the air slowly. I'd like you to visualize light above your head. And when you breathe in, bring that light into your lungs. Take another breath. Visualize that light coming into your body and expanding. And it expands into our lungs, into our limbs. And I invite you to put your hand on your heart. And as you breathe in that light, allow it to fill your heart. Just feel the light filling with warmth and love into this space. I'd like you to visualize a person, a pet, something that you love unconditionally. Just visualize that being and feel the love in your heart. Take a deep breath again from the light that comes from above your head into your heart. Feel that love expand. Feel that love expand into your whole being, into your organs, into your limbs. See the combination of love and light swirling in your gut, overflowing outside of your body into this space. Now I'd like you to visualize the ground that your feet are connected to. And think of all the other feet that are connected to this ground. And all of the little paws that are connected to this ground. Visualize the roots of the trees that are connected to this ground and this earth beneath us. Breathe deep the light, the love. Let it flow through your feet, out to this earth, and connect to all the other feet and roots and waterways. Allow it to expand out into the entire earth and expand to where people are feeling pain. Expand to people who are feeling love. Just let it fill them all. And as this love grows and expands, we can just feel it burst out into the universe, out into every cosmos, every planet, every star, every dimension. And breathe in again that love and light. Bring yourself back that love. And just dwell on it for a few moments. Just meditate on it and hold it. And as you continue to breathe and hold the love, visualize the little you at any stage in life that you would like, maybe as a baby or as a child. Visualize the little one inside of you. Just embrace that being with all this love from the light and from the world. Just hold tight. Embrace that little one. And tell the little one that you love that child, that being, and that it is divine in nature. And it is perfect, whole, and complete, just as it is. And everything that has happened and everything that is has been in divine design. And everything's okay. Tell this being, it is safe because it is eternal. It is divine. And it is perfect, whole, and complete, just as it is. Just breathe into that. And feel, and just continue to embrace this divine being. Let it know it is safe. All is well. Just continue to feel this love. And hold this love. Allow it the space for it to grow. And visualize this love flowing over into your week. And know that every being that you meet will feel this divine love that you are filled with now. Every person you meet at any store or at your job or when you're driving down the road will feel the blessing of your light and your presence of love. Allow yourself to smile, to feel that love that comes from you and fills up the world. Take a few more minutes to breathe in deep breaths and release them slowly. And sit in silence for a few moments, a few minutes. And just know in this space here today that you have come, that you are safe, that you are loved, and that you're exactly where you're supposed to be on your path. That all is well, all is God. Now I invite you to have a gratitude practice for a moment. Think of something you are grateful for right now. Feel that gratitude deeply. Take the moment to be thankful for what you are grateful for. Now think of another thing that you are grateful for. And feel that gratitude deeply. As you go through your mind with all the things that you are grateful for, feel the love and the connection that you have for each of those experiences, those beings, and all that you're grateful for. Feel that connection that you have. And know you are worthy of all the good things that this life has to offer. Know that as a divine being, you draw more of these good things into your life. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Just gently bring yourself back into the room. You can do another little stretch if you like, little movement. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Eugene. My name is Kathy Day, and
I'm Brian.
I'm Naomi. Good morning.
and we are members of the Joy Notes, our song leading team. We'd like to get things going with a few sing-alongs, and the words will be up here. So please stand and join us. God is where I am. God is where I am. Wherever I go, wherever I do, God is where I am.
Love.
Love is where I am. Love is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, love is where I am.
Peace.
Peace. Peace is where I am. Peace is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, peace is where I am.
Joy.
Joy is where I am. Joy is where I am. Whatever I do, whatever I do, joy is where I am.
Come back to God.
God is where I am. God is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is where I am. Awesome. You guys sound great this morning. Take a moment and say Heidi to your neighbors and welcome. And
I love to see this many people. It's like, come, come, come. You'll recognize when you hear the music.
I hope so.
Because they give us an intro.
okay, time to come back. We got another song
There it
for
is.
you. Woohoo! Make your way back to your seat. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough peace, there's quite enough power to walk through every fear. For Spirit, one Spirit is in this very room. Please be seated, and if you have any cell phones on, make sure they're on silent.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Donu Green. I am an intern practitioner here, and I'm getting us started today. So, if you're here for your first time, we have a sheet in the lobby here you can fill out and give us some of your contact info. We'll get you signed up for our weekly email newsletter, which is one of the best ways to stay in tune with all our classes, fun events, service opportunities, and other juicy goodness here. So at this center, we know that spiritually empowered people live richer, fuller lives. So we use the principles of science of mind to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives. And I can speak from personal experience that the more you engage in our classes or start practitioner studies, you will be sent on a transformational journey. So I really highly encourage you to take some classes here. And I'd like to share with you a piece of our global vision. So we envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. And now I'd like to welcome up our practitioner of the day, Susan Cochran. And if you would all rise, we're going to sing one more song before she gives us her treatment.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Glad you're here. Let's take a moment to ground ourselves and connect with the one powerful source that created everything. This divine spirit goes by many names, including Yahweh, Allah, the Eternal One, the I Am, the mover of obstacles, and God. It is beyond description and comprehension in its unlimited potential and infinite possibilities. I see the Creator in the sprawling forests, in the majestic mountain ranges, in the tranquil beaches. And I see the Creator in the faces in this community. I feel its presence here today, and I know I am one with it. As I know this for myself, I know this for every person here and watching online, and every being. We come here today to remember who we are. We are divine in nature, connected in the oneness that is God. And it is in this oneness that we find unconditional love and deep peace. I bless all paths that led here. I bless this space where everyone is welcome. I open my heart to the message. I open my heart to the music. And I allow myself to be filled with inspiration. I am so grateful for this community and the consciousness of love and peace found here. May this divine energy flow into our neighborhoods, into our communities, into all corners of the world. I release this into the divine mind, knowing all is well, all is God, and so it is.
All right, I'm going to read aloud for you our affirmation for the month of November. I will read it once aloud, and then if you choose, you can repeat it with me. Every aspect of the universe is a sacred expression of spirit. I open myself to find the sacred in unexpected places. Everything, including me, is holy. And with me if you choose. Every aspect of the universe is a sacred expression of spirit. I open myself to finding the sacred in unexpected places. Everything, including me, is holy. And now that we are into a new month, we have a new theme for this month. Our monthly theme is the mundane, the sacred, and the profane. And it's gonna get interesting. Our talk title today will be given by our beloved Reverend Linda Finley, and the title today is The Mundane. But before we get started with our talk, we have a very special musical guest, Reverend Linda Lundry Starr. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. It is really good to be back in this room, and I love all the faces that I see here. And the joy notes that were, everything's just so energized, and I love it. If you don't mind me sharing the topic today, mundane. You know, the mundane, it gets a bad rap, I think, this word. We talk about, you know, moving through the mundane and seeing the God in the mundane. And for me, it's like, you know, I can learn from the mundane. And what happened to me yesterday, I was rehearsing the song that I was planning to play right now. And it just was not happening. It just was not happening. And something else wanted to come through. So this is what happened. Actually, both the songs that I'm playing today are brand new. And this is the first time I've played them anywhere. So this one is called Gray. We wouldn't know who we are without all the things we've come to know and love. And we wouldn't know who we are without the pain and the sorrow that brought us this far. So I reconcile this in God with truth of the oneness between the earth and the stars. And when the colors of this life seem to fade to black and white, there's a silver-lined wisdom waiting on the other side. And gray taught me the way of the world, and gray showed me the truth in every color. And gray is the color of the sky some days, but I believe there is truth in gray. The corner store clerk, as you're traveling to work, it's your song interrupted by the news that leaves you shook. Joyful memories of the brightest days can get lost in a comfort haze. Day by day, it's easy to forget that Spirit's light shines the way. So when I come home to God, the fog begins to clear and a new day has won. So when the clouds return one day, I can see them in new ways. The promise of the rainbow includes black, white, and gray. Oh, and gray taught me the way of the world, and gray showed me the truth in every color, and gray is the color of the sky. Some days that I believe there is truth. Oh, and gray, it taught me the way of the world, and gray, it showed me the truth in every color, and gray is the color of the sky. Someday that I believe there is truth in gray.
In singing this short song. I am opening, I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, I am
Breathing in and breathing out. I move in the rhythm of life. Giving and receiving. Waking and sleeping. Falling and rising. I move through life, trusting and knowing that everything I need is already here. In the colors and in the gray areas. It is all spirit. It is all sacred. Everything is holy. Grateful to remember that everywhere I am, God is, life is, love is. And so I let go. And I let life be life in me. And so it is. I would be remiss if I did not thank Linda for the beautiful song she wrote, Reverend Linda Lundry Starr, Matt Treader for dancing with me in spirit, and Donu and Susan for exemplary growth and work in what they are doing and becoming, and our beloved production team, because none of this, I'd just kind of be standing here yelling at you if they weren't doing all this. So it's a team. It takes a village, and I am truly, truly grateful for this village and for the new faces I've seen today, for the Facebook friend I actually met in person today, and for someone who hasn't been here in so long, and I am just so incredibly happy to see her and all of you. And everybody. I'm always happy to see everybody. I'm weird like that. I really, really love everybody. I'm one of those. Somebody called me an overgrown puppy one time, and I said, I'm just kind of like, So, thank you for your brilliant introduction, Donu. The mundane. We come to the end of a year here, and we're winding up a whole lot of spiritual lessons, themes that have been worked around. Living out loud is the theme for the whole year. To stop holding everything inside us and to allow ourselves to be who we came here to be. To live from the place that we came here to live. To not bury our gifts because they might not be good enough, they might not be right enough, but to just offer them out because whoever they are for will receive them, and we never know. We never know when something we do, when a smile to a stranger makes the difference in their day. We don't know. Every little thing matters. This month, the theme is the mundane, the sacred, and the profane, which basically came about in the 14th century when the church decided that certain things were sacred and certain things weren't, And by God, we can't have that god-awful science saying things that contradict what we're teaching. So they're going to do their thing and we're going to do our thing, and never the two shall meet. And I love the mystical arm knew all along that the science was good. And what's funny, there's a story about how science is slowly climbing its way to the top, through quantum physics, into the void, into the nothingness. And they get to the peak and all the mystics are sitting there going, well, took you long enough. But this is where we are, to realize that literally, you know me and my look for etymology, the root word of mundane quite literally means ordinary or worldly as opposed to sacred. It was invented specifically for the purpose of saying, that's not sacred, that's ordinary. May not be horrible, but it's not sacred for sure. It's a tree, for pity's sakes. It's a lake. It's not sacred. Yeah, it is. That's what everybody kind of forgot. And God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face. And God said, let there be light. So essentially, the first thing God created was darkness. Don't ever forget that. The darkness and the light balance one another out. The darkness is not evil. The darkness is not bad. The darkness is, and the light is, and the two work together, and they form gray. So there is truth in gray. But as human beings, you may have noticed, I might be the only one, but I'm pretty sure I am not, who has a tendency to, shall we say, evaluate things, classify things, dare I say, judge things. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you choke. And we do this not only to ourselves, but to the world around us. We do this to everyone and everything, including the person who lives in the mirror. We find ourselves so willing to find differences, to find errors, to find things that are not quite the way they should be. By whose standard? I know I was sitting at my desk one day and I have this little ritual that I do, and I do things in a certain order, and I light the candle, and then I light the incense, and then I read from this card, and then I read from that card. And at the end of the week, I draw a new card, and I really liked the new card, and I didn't want to draw a new card. But I went ahead and shuffled the cards, and it came back up the same card. Oh, but wait, I said, oh, that can't work because I have to change the card I made up the rule, for God's sake. I can keep the card if I want to. But this is a silly reminder of how we put things in certain places and want them to be certain ways when there is absolutely no need for them to be that way, for them to be in that place, for them to be there. We look at things as important or not important. We look at things as good or bad. This is good food, this is bad food. This is a good dog, that's a bad dog. But, you know, we do this good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. Right, wrong. Putting us always in either or instead of both and we just spent a whole month looking at the idea of paradox and the fact that we need to be living in a both and world. We need to be living in a world where we are all looking at all the options and saying, yes, there's truth here, yes, there's truth here, yes, there's errors here, yes, there's errors there. Can we bring the truths together to form a third way that is stronger and better than either one of these two opposing truths, which are both truth and are both valid? That's what we have to do. That's what our life is. That's the pyramid, is the strongest form there is, because the two ways come together. And so when we judge something as mundane and not important, shoved to the side, we lose the value of the gift that's there for us offering itself to us. We have basic principles in our teaching, and we've been having a lot of fun for the last 9 or 10 weeks with Soup for the Soul, where we have a principle that we look at every week and then practices that we share that will put that principle to work while we eat a bowl of soup and bite into some bread and talk about it. And the principles really, really matter, and the practices are really, really important because the practices are how we put the principles to work in our life. And I really think it's important. People go, well, Centers for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind, what's that? What do you believe? What do you think? What is that? Okay, here's it. God is all there is. And God is not an old man with a beard and a bad attitude. God is the energy and intelligence that created everything. It is life. It is energy, essence, waiting to take shape, waiting to renew the shape it has taken. And we help form that shape by the way we think about things. If I wake up and stub my toe and say, oh, it's going to be an awful day, the universe says, yes, my beloved, it will be a terrible day. I can guarantee it. Thank you very much. I know I have my marching orders now. But if we get up and stub our toe and say, wow, I got the ugly stuff out of the way and the rest of the day is going to be amazing, guess what? The universe says, yes, it will, and sets about creating an amazing day. Because what you seek, you will find. Seek and you shall find. If I am looking for a mess, I will find a mess. If I am looking for the gem in the mess, I will find the gem. I decide what I'm looking for. I decide how I go through life. Our principles, our basic principles that we're kind of touch on today are oneness. If this source, this power energy, this Allah, this Elohim, this energy that we call the beloved is all there is, it didn't say, well, it's all there is except for Brian. Yeah. It didn't say, oh, it's all there is except for me. It's all there is. We are like, one of my favorite things as a little kid growing up in the 50s and watching all the Westerns that were popular back then, it's like a big old wagon wheel, a wooden wagon wheel that has a rim and then it has spokes that go into the hub. And all the spokes are joined at the hub. And they reach out in every direction. And the ones opposite each other are completely different places. This one's up here and this one's over here. They couldn't be more far apart. And yet they're joined at the hub. Oneness does not mean sameness. It means connectedness. It doesn't mean I'm like you. It means I am you and you are me. Ubuntu, I am because you are. You are because I am. Namaste, that which is divine in me sees that which is divine in you. There is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life. This is who we are in the terms of oneness. We're going to be different. We're going to be packaged differently. We're going to look differently on the outside. We're going to feel differently a little bit on the inside because we had different experiences, and yet we breathe the same air and drink the same water and eat the same food and love the same things and need the same things. Our differences are not things that make us wrong or bad. They're things that make us cherishable. Wow, how cool is that? You painted the sky purple? Oh my goodness, that's amazing. The differences are what make the texture, that make it less than bland. I don't want Baskin-Robbins one flavor. I want the variety. I want the differences. And sometimes I want to mix those differences up together. A half a scoop of this and a half a scoop of that and a half a scoop of something else. spiritual beings. Because of the oneness, we are spiritual beings. We are beings who are existed before we inhabited this body. We will exist after we leave this body. This body is our soul sack, our shell in which we live and love and get to eat chocolate and pizza and make love and do other wonderful things. And our spirit has been here forever. Have you ever met somebody for the first time and thought, I've known this person down through the ages. Not as that person, but as that energy. We are spiritual beings, and the basis of all of this is love. God does not love. God is love. When I love, I am expressing the divine. When I love, I am letting God be God in me. Our oneness, the fact that we're spiritual beings, and our love holds us all together in a way that allows us to learn from one another, to care about one another, to do things with one another. Brother Lawrence, some of you may have heard stories about Brother Lawrence, who was a monk, and he never could do any of the really, really good things right. He couldn't play an instrument. He couldn't sing songs very well. He couldn't lead the prayers. But dang, he could wash dishes. And boy, could he chop potatoes and the mundane things of the monastery he excelled at. And he came to leave stories about what was going on to the extent that which I do is, for me, I've told everybody, my love language is cooking. When I cook, the food is sacred. The people I am preparing it for are sacred. And the very act of doing the alchemy of turning these things into that thing is magic to me. And you can taste it in my food because it's prepared with love, because it comes from my soul, because it's God giving God to God. This is what the mundane literally really means, is the everyday stuff, the stuff that we take for granted, the bed that we sleep in. Thich Nhat Hanh said, we really need to give thanks for the non-toothache. I take for granted having healthy teeth until one of my teeth is bad. I take for granted being able to walk up and down stairs until I turn my ankle. I take for granted being able to see without glasses until I have cataracts and can't see anything. And now my cataracts are removed, and it's like, you guys look great. You're even prettier than you were when I had the glasses on. But we need to recognize the gift of the sacred in the tiniest of things. I miss having cats. I'm not in a place where I can actually have a cat in my life. And I am a cat person because cats are independent and they really don't care what you do until you don't do the right thing, and then they will let you know. But you can be gone and they will, and you get home and they're like, oh, you're back. But I miss them crawling up in my lap and purring. The sound of a purr makes me want to weep and wish that I was where I could have cats right now, and I can't. So if all of you who have really cool ideas and you have a friend who has a cat and you want to give it to me, no, I can't right now. But the sound, when I'm over at a friend's house who has a cat, and they'll climb up onto me and they'll start purring, and it's just, a tiny little thing, and it's sacred. We have so many gifts all around us, so much good all around us. Wherever I am, God is. God is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is where I am. God is in the big stuff. God is in the Grand Canyon. and Mount Rainier and the things that are majestic, and God is in the poor little broken tree at the edge of the forest. And God is in the rock. God is in the dried patch of grass that isn't growing right now. God is in the big things and the little things. It's in it. It's in everything, and it's in us. And what we have to become is aware of the sacredness of what is. The Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism, has a beautiful line that just spoke so to my heart. It says, if the Torah had never been written, nature would tell us everything we need to know about how to live life. The way the day and the night work together. The seasons. The way the seasons move from one to the other. The growth, the harvest, the decay, the rest, the returning to life, the resurrection. All of it is in nature. We're the new kids on the block. We like to think, oh, we're so smart. We've got this brain with this big frontal lobe, and we can do all this stuff. And boy, we can take control of nature. We can do this. And nature is just sitting back going, yeah, watch me. The little stuff is the big stuff. And I got my people who are just sweet babies. I know you're a grown-ass man. I know that. I'm a sweet baby too. But I would love somebody in their 20s and 30s to really hear how the stuff that I thought in my 20s and 30s wasn't important is really the stuff that's important. It's the big stuff. The raises, the new car, all that's gone. But I remember sweet little things like sitting on a sawhorse on 4th of July with a wedge of watermelon and having it drip down my chin and onto my knees with my cousins playing red light, green light till the fireworks started. Little things are everything now. And the big thing about getting an A on the test or whatever really doesn't, I don't even remember the test or the grade. The mundane. I'm sorry they started with the mundane, because it's as though, we're going to start with the unimportant stuff first, but yet the unimportant stuff is the important stuff. David Robinson, who was here for the conference and who did the outline for this week's talk, which I basically didn't use much of, but it was a nice outline and it gave me good ways to think. But he said something that I really want to share with you. What if when you were having a rough spot, you hit the 5th stoplight in a row, the line at the grocery store seems to not be moving at all. Can you flip your thinking and say, this is the most important and sacred moment of my day. Right here, right now. I know the oneness is right here, and I choose to notice it. The oneness is right here, and I choose to notice it. The oneness is right here, and I choose to notice it. There is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life. Right here. Right now. So it is. And now I would like to call the ushers forward. It is the time of giving, the sacred time. You know, we breathe in and then we breathe out. We give thanks for the good that is with us, and we give thanks for all that is around us. This center has been around for 53 and a half years now. And I envision another 53 and a half years at least. I probably won't be here for that. One never knows. Donu will. But whippersnapper. and it is through the love and the caring and the compassion, the giving of time, talent, and treasure that each of us has. And there is no home office that well, there is a home office, but they don't pay for anything here. We are an agency unto ourselves. And so all the gifts that are given here stay here and go towards working and growing and advancing and creating amazing music and doing wonderful things and having parties and helping the community and working with Food for Lane County and all the other wonderful things we do. And so when you give not from a place of, oh, golly, I've got to give. Give from a place of love and wonder and grace and joy, because that's the gift that truly matters. And so hold your gift on your chest. Mm-hmm. If you've already sent something in, just go ahead and put your hand on your chest. I bless this gift.
I bless this gift.
Knowing it is the circulation of divine good.
Knowing it is the circulation of divine good.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Please join us in our giving song.
Everything in this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything.
And so it is. And we give thanks because we have another song by Reverend Linda Lundry Starr.
So I know we hear a lot in the rooms like this that great minds think alike. There's only one mind. And where I can't claim that it was a coincidence of God that I came here today and we were talking about oneness, because when we go into a Science of Mind church, we're going to talk about oneness. But because of Facebook, I know that Reverend Linda and I are reading the same book, or at least recently. And so for those of you that might be new, when I first walked into a Science of Mind center, 15, 16 years ago now, I remember hearing things like New Thought. And it's just really not new. And I've always been an Emerson fan, but I didn't really get into the mystical side of Ralph Waldo Emerson until I started studying Science of Mind. And I go now and I read things that he wrote literally pre-Civil War. My former minister used to laugh at me. He's like, there's cobwebs on this stuff. But the truth is that it's been around for all of eternity, this idea of oneness. And anyway, so oneness. I'm glad that was the principle today, because this is the new song. And I can't prove it's new because Mo already learned it. But anyway. It is called We Are One. So I feel the love of spirit call, a call from grace. The constant to you or me or them. It's a run, its race. It's a run, its race. The sinner beckoning to live a different way. I can't explain it in words, but it's taken my breath away. It's taken my breath away that we are one. We are one in the light, we are one, and we are one. In spirit and life we are one. And I lift mine eyes with new understanding that we are one. The call, it feels like one more smile on the street. The call, it feels like giving someone something to eat, putting their shoes upon my feet. The call is the loudest silence that I've ever heard. It rings like fire from heaven, and it's lighting up my world. It's lighting up my world that we are one. We are one in the light, we are one, and we are one. In spirit and life we are one. And I lift mine eyes with new understanding that we are one. And I see you with new eyes as I clean the filter of my past. No more tripping, looking back for me. Now that I see that we are one. We are one in the light, we are one, and we are one. In spirit and life we are one. And I lift mine eyes with new understanding that we are one. We in spirit and life we are one, and we are one. In spirit and life we are one. And I lift mine eyes, and I choose my gaze, and I share my joy with new understanding that we are one. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank Kathy for putting up the slides. That last one of the quail was from Sharon McMahon. That's her backyard. Yeah, most of our slides are from the people in our community who have, post on Facebook all these lovely photos, and I convinced them to let me use them, and so there. That's where our slideshows for the meditations come from. Are you full yet? Well, I'm here to tell you that we actually got a potluck afterwards. So, and I saw plenty of desserts out there. I said, when I do potlucks, I don't let people sign up because, if everybody brought a salad, that would be incredibly healthy. And if everybody bought desserts, would that be so awful? So anyway, announcements. I want to also honor our two new, Jennifer and Rhiannon, who are doing the new work for us, and they're interns from the LCC, and they've been remaking and redoing things. And you notice the slides are wider now. They're not little boxy things. It's like we're the men's coffee is every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. at 5th Street Market Food Court. I think there's several people here today who are part of that, and we're welcome. We'll be glad you're here. The Wednesday gathering is in the sanctuary from 5:30 to 6:30. We have music, discussion, spiritual practice to give you a midweek boost. Please join us every Wednesday right here. The community potluck is today. Everybody is welcome. Even if you didn't bring something, it's okay. We believe in loaves and fishes here, so it will multiply. You can have some. Virtual game night is coming up this Friday. Is that correct? Kathy Day. Kathy, would you stand so people know who? Kathy Day is one of our practitioners, one of our song leaders, and an amazing human being. And she does the virtual game night on Friday nights. And so if you'd like, check the newsletter. It has the ways to connect and get a hold of Kathy so that you can do it. And Patricia, where are you? There you go. Come on. This is your cue.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the fundraiser that I'm doing for this community. And, I joined this community about a little bit less than a year ago. And it was at a time when I decided to make a change in my life. And so, as a matter of fact, Glenna is here, and she's the one that told me about this center. I didn't even know that this was here before that. And, but it reminded me of the time of change. And right now, when you look outside, how beautiful it is, right? The change that's going on. And, and a lot of times when I look into the future and I think about changes that I want to make, with Access Consciousness bars, what it can be for you is it can be a catalyst for that change. Whether you're taking your first step or you're taking your 100th step. It can help with any change that you desire to make in your life. It can make change physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. It can really help you. Yeah. Okay. So, but to add to that, what I want to also offer now is gift certificates. So, if you would like to buy a gift certificate for yourself, because right now you're saying like, oh, I don't know if I can get it done by Christmas, which is, this fundraiser is running until Christmas. You can buy it for yourself and then use it next year. Or you might know somebody that's talking to you about wanting to make a change as well. And then you can offer it to them to help them with their change. So thank you very much. And I look forward to serving you all. And again, I want to thank you all for your service to me in helping me as I have gone through so many changes since I've joined here. I've been on quite a roller coaster ride, and all of you have supported me so much, and I so appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And Patricia will be back by the classroom door there, and if anybody wants to do a gift certificate, they can meet with her in private there. So thank you so much. We appreciate all that you do. Soup for the Soul is every week. This week it may be on Friday. I sent an email out to everybody for a 1-week change because I have an obligation to the Interfaith Ministries that I would like to live up to, and that's on Thursday. So we may move it to Friday, but it's offered on a love offering basis. It's a drop-in event. We keep it to 1 hour precisely. It is soup, bread, and good discussion and sharing, and everyone is welcome. So check the newsletter, because by the time the newsletter comes out, we'll know whether it's Thursday or Friday. Brick is here today, yay. So the book boutique is open. Come back in. There's grips for your cell phone. There's all kinds of fun things back there. So check with Brick on the fun stuff. Plus he has jewelry that he can custom make for you. It's really, really good. So patronize our bookstore. And there's many opportunities to serve the community. As we need greeters, we need kitchen angels, we need production staff people. Whatever you might like to do, you are welcome to become part of our community, giving of time, talent, and treasure. So, and I think, yeah, and Amara Milan is the one who made all these beautiful chemistry paintings. I don't know how to describe them, but they're where the colors flow. You don't paint them, you pour them into a medium. So Anyway, and practitioner of the day, Susan Cochran, doing a beautiful job as intern practitioner, coming right along, about halfway through now, huh?
More than half.
Well, halfway through your last year.
Halfway through the last year, yes.
Okay, so she's going to talk to you about our practitioners.
We are here for you. Please come and talk to us if you need anything at all. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid it's too big or too small. We are here to help you. And I just have to say, very recently, I had a session with Kathy Day, which really uplifted me when I needed it. I've just recently had a session with Reverend Linda that changed a lot of things for me. So I do it, and I just want to be able to give back to all of you guys. And so let's stand, anyone that's available today after service. We call it Miracle Minutes. It's just an opportunity to come and talk to someone and have a moment of affirmative prayer with our practitioners or reverends. So those who are standing, please come and talk to any of us. We're here for you, and thank you.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
Rise up this
Morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds sitting on my doorstep, singing sweet songs, melodies true and true, singing, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
Please repeat after me. We are one.
We are one.
The grand,
the grand
the mundane,
The mundane.
and me.
and me.
And so it is.
So it is.